Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth Astrology. This is where I bring you both the light and the dark of the astrological chart of the 11th until this 18th of April. Man, time is going so fast. I mean, all the planets are direct, and Mercury and Venus are just full speed. So this is going really fast. Time is going fast. Everything's going fast. And I mean, it is really a lot. And I bet that you feel it. I'm very curious. If you feel it, please let me know in the comments down below if you experience this as well. I think, we might have all gone through this. But in this week, we are starting to see more energy that is, not necessarily slowing down, but at least there will be energy that is going to be practical, that is going to be like, okay, let's see how we can implement this. And that is going to slow us down a little bit. I do have to say, with Saturn square the nodes, holy shit, which happens on Monday, exact, with the nodes, and that has been testing many of us so much in our responsibilities. It has been slowing us down for our emotional growth. We have to get serious on everything that we're doing, and it is about groups. It is about your uniqueness. It is about your knowing, your knowledge. It is so much. By the way, there's a full moon coming up on Friday in Libra. This is about you versus me. You can download the Full Moon Spiritual Guide, which is now going to be a collaboration of many people. It's not just going to be me. So you might want to check that out. On Friday is the full moon. The link to the full moon guide. On Friday. And the full moon guide will be in the description below on Tuesday. So, man, it's really, if there's one thing, Mercury comes into Taurus and it's going to point towards Venus. And that is a huge shift in energy. We're going to see a huge shift in energy. We're going to see so much Piscean energy. It's going to be as if, in a way, the Piscean vibe has returned. We got Jupiter starting a new cycle with Neptune. I mean, this is all about our spiritual belief. This is all about a spiritual practice. This is all about our, our dreaminess, our forgetfulness, our knowing that we're oneness, but it brings with it kind of confusion and clarity cycle. We go through a cycle of confusion, a cycle of clarity. And, Saturn is just all structuring that. And Saturn is just documenting that over and over and over again. And it could be very tiring, could be blocking, it could be causing fear. It's all very normal, especially after we had Mercury square Pluto, which is still technically going on. Man, that was a hard one. Like, the energy has been really, really hard. And I think it's going to be a little bit easier on us. But what I think is going to happen is we have been like going so fast and like starting many things. And many times we could have like felt that we were running like a chicken without a head. And Mercury is now going to come in Taurus on Monday. And that's going to bring stability in a way and going to be like, okay, let's land. Let's think about how to practically integrate this, what to do with it. Where's the beauty in it all? Especially because Venus is in Taurus. We got the North Node. Venus is in Pisces. We got the North Node in Taurus. So there's a lot of energy pointing towards Venus in Pisces. Venus in Pisces is very beautiful. It's very compassionate. It's very sweet. But I would say, it is still very confusing and very like la la la. So it could mean that everything that we've been doing the past, I don't know, like weeks, we can like be like, whatever, so there's going to be like, even though the planets are going fast and energy is going fast, we might be like, I don't know if I should, and it's going like a little bit slower. And so you're going to feel that. But it's going to be very spiritual. It's going to be very healing in a way. It's going to be very nurturing, very going within. And I think we're going to see people wake up and acting more from a spiritual value, more from a belief. And that could be a danger too. People will, act from a belief standpoint. I think the beauty is that Jupiter and Neptune is conjuncting, which opens ourselves so much and kind of loosens all the boundaries. And I think that is part of what has been happening too, that Jupiter and Neptune cycle has been closing. And, in a closing cycle, that is super confusing. With a starting cycle, Jupiter and Neptune, that's going to be like just exploring, going out. It's going to be more optimistic though. But it is still very confusing and still very open. And there are no boundaries. And, Sun in Aries is like doing and doing. It might be purchasing or chasing things that is not important. And I do think that Mercury coming into Taurus already brings a little bit of stability. And once that moon comes into Virgo, when I think this lesson more going to happen on Wednesday, there's going to be grounding and there's going to be practical application. We're going to be able to do something with that. We're going to be able to understand it a little bit better. So I think that's a really good thing that Jupiter and Neptune cycle, which is all about opening the third eye, opening the crown chakra, really opening ourselves up for new opportunities, opening ourselves up to new beliefs, and to exploring God, and to opening ourselves up to communication interdimensionally, etc., etc. It is in Mercury and Taurus is going to be, for me personally, a saving grace, where we're going to be able to really maybe understand it better and be with our mind in our values, in our, like, on Earth. Now, I do have to say, Mercury's going so fast, it's going to meet up with Uranus pretty quick, especially by the end of the week, Friday, when that full moon hits. Man, it's going to be interesting, because Mercury conjuncting Uranus pretty close to the full moon in Libra. Yeah, that is new people turning up, unexpected conversations, emotions are pretty high, and stuff's gonna happen that you didn't expect. You're gonna, like, whoa, just take on completely new values, money that all of a sudden appears out of nowhere or disappears to nowhere. In this full moon in Libra, Mars comes into Pisces on Thursday. There's Venus in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. Wow. This is all, again, ending, closing cycles. It's going to be as if Pisces season is less or more back. Let's see what happens. But that full moon too, the full moon in Libra points to Venus again. So Venus is going to play a super huge important point. And that is Venus in Pisces. It's very sweet, it's very compassionate, but it is closing cycle. So again, there's going to be stuff that comes up around what you find important, around your relationships, around your possessions, and really having a look at them and them coming out, and you evaluating that. And you might all of a sudden, with Mercury on Uranus, be like, fuck it, like, this is not the relationship I want to be in. Fuck it, this is something I don't want to carry to this new life that I've woken up to. I honestly think it's going to be really important with Mercury in Taurus and Venus in Pisces to paint, to write, to poetry, so that we can at least, just like practice our spirituality and ground it and do something physical with it. Just being in nature, having essential oils, just to really stay with our senses on Earth, but because we're going to be so open, we're going to be so in tune with source. And that's why I would say keep grounded, stay grounded, do something practical, paint. This is a beautiful time for arts. This is a beautiful time to be artistic. But you know, even like the sun in Aries, Mars was in Aquarius until then, but with the full moon, Mars is in Pisces. So even our actions by now on Thursday are kind of like, you know, in the dark, and we're, you know, not necessarily, we don't have that power that an Aries fire, you know, has. So these are like, if you really want to like do something these last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if you want to like move something, start something, this is your time to like make it happen. Because after that, it is about implementation of everything that we've started. There's not, you know, if you want to start something new there, it's going to be really weird, and you're going to bounce in against like confusion and things that just come up from past year. And it's just like, you know, Mars closing a cycle of 2 years, Venus closing a cycle of a year, Jupiter and Neptune closing a cycle of 170 years. All that stuff's going to come up. It's going to be a lot. You know, I do think it could be very beautiful too, right? Let's be very clear. It will be very beautiful as well. It has a potential to be very like painting a beautiful picture and enjoying and you know, sensations of love, and all of that is going to be there for sure. One more thing is that, you know, that full moon is going to be square Pluto, and Venus is going to be semi-square Pluto. So there's something going on with that warrior energy, square Pluto, where we are going to actually act according to the beliefs that we have. We're going to have to take leadership. Sun in Aries, Pluto in Capricorn. This is pure leadership. This is cutting edge. This is being responsible and to act responsible. And there's going to be a fear of failure, that you're not responsible. And you have to embrace your creativity. You have to embrace your ego, your identity. That it's going to go through an identity change. Sun in Aries, square Pluto. It's going to be hard. You're going to be afraid to fail. And the square over to Venus in Pisces is, do I really believe this? Do I really want this? Do I really value this? Venus semi-square Pluto, you know, might be kind of manipulative in possessions. It might be manipulative in being very sweet and being very like la la la. It doesn't really know how to integrate. It doesn't really know what to do with this with this information. So it is not an easy time, especially because we have a full moon in Libra, which is about you versus me, which is about relationships. And Venus square Pluto and the Sun is like, I don't know what to do. But it's going to create tension. It's going to create the necessary tension so that those new beliefs, you know, and those new acquired spiritual knowledge, you got to do something with it, and you got to act responsible with it, and you got to come forth and really stand for what you believe. Sun in Aries, square Pluto, square Venus. You got to show up, and you got to show what you value. It's quite intense. It's powerful. And especially by the end of the week, Mercury conjunct Uranus, sudden realizations, you know, things appearing, shock on the nervous system, whatever, like very shocking things that happen, revelations, spiritual revelations pointing to Venus in Pisces there. The beautiful thing is that it is sextiling. So here actually, the end of this week is kind of a saving grace. But Mercury, Uranus, opposite Moon in Scorpio. The Moon in Scorpio is very intense, very deep, very transformative. Again, there's again Pluto energy involved. Opposing the Mercury and Uranus is just like, those revelations are kind of scary. And this is about bravery, this is about courage. And that's why I say we have to take a stand into what we believe, because we're going to have to really embrace our me-ness. And then again, with so much Piscean energy, this is like, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't know, I can't know, you know. So, you know, we'll see how that goes, we'll see how that happens, but I think the most important thing is by now to know what we need to stay centered. For me personally, that is, you know, I need one, my morning meditation, and two, I need heart-brain coherence. And obviously you need sleep, but you know, you can sometimes forget about sleep, especially if you have a baby. And it doesn't, you know, this what I'm trying to say with that is that you can't have things under control, but what you can do is that one thing out of many things, pick one thing that you really know that you're going to stick to stay centered. And if you stay centered, all the noise, all the chaos that there's going to be inevitably this week, that's what I mean by taking a stand in what you believe in, because you're showing up for what you value. And that's going to be required of you to stay centered, to really be able to channel and deal with all the information that's going to come inevitably towards you. Shocking revelations, new people, new relationships, old stuff coming up from old relationships, you know, money issues, whatever it is. This is all, we're all evolving so much. And especially because we're starting a new cycle of 170 years of a belief system. Do you know how much the belief system has changed in this last 170 years, let alone in the last 2 years? So it's going to be very interesting. Stay tuned. Stay centered. Much love. The Leo Mystic. Peace.